Hello, mate.
So what's that little Fiesta looking like now you've stripped that lovely paint off of it?
Yeah, I can't see very many panels that don't need repairing. They don't need cutting out. It's full of rot. Honestly, it's like a piece of Swiss cheese. I can see all the way through it.
So what you're saying is it's never going to get any worse. It can only get better from here.
Well, that is, I guess, the way to look at it. You know, it's a very special car, and I'm willing to put the effort in if you are. I think we just get cracking and see how we get on.
Talking of effort, I've gone and seen Dave, my Ford guru, and I've confirmed with him that it's likely that that's not an original sunroof with the car. So in that case, I've asked Dave if he can find us a roof, and he can get it sent up to you. But that does mean that we are going to do a sunroof delete.
So the one bit of this car that's actually in pretty good condition, you want me to cut it out and replace it with another bit? Mate, I mean, yes, absolutely, I'll add it to the list, but there's something quite ironic and a little bit funny about that.
Mate, you're my hero. Carry on.
See you later.
Mike doesn't like to make my life easy, does he? As if this car didn't have enough holes in it already, to remove the top skin and sunroof, I've got to cut it away very carefully from the layer that's underneath. The challenge is that if I go even a couple of millimetres too deep, or if I nick a pillar, we're going to lose the structural integrity of our monocoque. And then, well, I give up.
Wow, well, there we go. It's now a roofless car. Well, I'm really pleased with that, but while I wait for the new roof to arrive, well, there's plenty more to be getting on with.
Like fixing the rotten floor with some new panels that Andy's found us online.
I'm going to cut out a section something like this, getting rid of all that rot and corrosion, and then I'll cut this down to match and probably hide the weld, the join, here, because I need to keep this strengthening rail. That's part of the strength of the body of the car, and then hopefully, at least from underneath, you won't see it. So that's the plan, at least.
All of the replacement panels we need have set us back £950. So whilst Andy cuts them to size, I need to take an angle grinder to what's left of our ever-decreasing shell.
Whew. Wow. Pass that over.
Okay.
I'll offer it into position.
Yep.
With the new panel securely clamped in place, it's time for me to go full flash dance.
Right, there we go. That's the new panel, cut, prepared, and now tacked in place. So all I've got to do is finish that welding off. Well, and then there's about a million more to do after that.
Back over at Dave's workshop, I've squeezed him for Fiesta knowledge. Now it's time to see what else he can help with.
Right, OK, now you're going to have to walk me through your part stores because I've got a list as long as my arm of bits that I'm going to need.
Don't worry, we've got all that on the shelf with Mike.
Lead the way.
I just hope Dave's stock is as good as that encyclopedic knowledge.
Lovely.
Tucked away under that hat.
I do need some gaskets, don't I?
Oil filter, Mike?
Yeah.
That's your oil pump.
Lovely. Well, that was a fantastic parts pick from my mate Dave. I think I have most bits that I need, and certainly the engine parts that Elvis is going to need when he finally gets round to restoring the engine.
The only problem is this lot has set us back a whopping £334.
It's been a few days since Andy and I started tackling the car's rotten shell, and mainly due to the fact that we've barely slept, we've made some real progress. But today, what's really exciting is that the new roof has arrived.
Now, this has actually come off a Mark II Fiesta, but it's identical to the Mark I that our car is, and importantly, it no longer has that cutout for the sunroof. Now, since it's arrived, I've also made the decision with Andy to keep this structural piece attached to the replacement roof and take it out of the monocoque in our car. The reason I've done that is for a couple of things. First of all, there are less welds involved in detaching this piece here, so that means I can preserve as many of the original welds as possible. It should also help to keep some structural integrity in the shape of this roof, and that will help with getting things like new windscreen in later down the line.
First off, and with brain-surging precision, I'm slicing off the edge pieces we don't need with an angle grinder, which is the easy bit. The difficult bit is using the spot welding drill tool to remove the corner strengthening sections. Push too hard and I'll go through the roof skin, which, much like brains, I only have one of.
Right, there you go. That was 4 spot welds, and you can see how tricky it is to get those apart.
And with our new roof prepped, it's time to see if it fits. Because if it doesn't, well, we might as well turn this into a convertible.
Right, there we go. Got to say, I'm really pleased with that. It's all sitting in place, and now I can start thinking about spot welding it in properly. Well, there we go. It's looking great. I have to say, this car has been a massive amount of work. I haven't even thought about the engine yet, the rest of the bodywork, and of course the whole thing still needs painting. But what we are a bit closer to is making this little 1300S a genuine candidate worthy of celebrating that iconic Fiesta name.